All right, so Felipe, go ahead. Give me your questions.
Do you want me to write them on Skype or just
No,
ask them to you?
just talk to me.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to, as you can see, this deck like has a lot of offensive weapons, but not as much on defense. And I wanted to analyze like the worst starting hands and what's the best thing that I can do, like in those cases.
Okay. This is really important because Golem has really bad hands if it's not like a pump deck with some cycle cards in it. I think
Yeah.
yeah, your deck can be cut off very hard in the early game. Okay.
hmm
Analyze starting hands. What else?
Um, I've been struggling a lot after Lava Hound decks. I've been turning a little bit better because I was figuring out some strategies that and things that I can do to take out the support units, like and all that kind of things. But like I have only one air attacker, which is Mega Minion,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to figure out how to beat like Lava Loon, Giant Loon, and Ice Golem Loon, and Lava Hound, obviously, like all air decks.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. That's good too. Um Golem has like a pretty special relationship when going up against Lava Hound. Typically, depending on how well the uh, Golem Golem player, like when the Golem player pushes on the Lava Hound, will usually depend on like will usually determine the game. So we're gonna talk about that. Go ahead. Is anything else?
Yes, I have like some punto questions right here. One is, should I start a golem push when I have one pump placed in the first 2 minutes, like in normal elixir time?
Okay. Starting Golem in. This is not double elixir. Yeah,
Not
right.
double elixir.
So
No.
you
Yeah.
understand already that you shouldn't be playing Golem at the beginning of the
Without a pump.
game. Yeah.
No, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Uh, two.
And they have like a situation that I've been through a lot of times, mostly on ladder versus rail giant. Like we both have a tower down. This usually happens obviously in 2x time elixir.
Yeah.
We both have a tower down. And what should I do? Because if I start a golden push, he's planning the RG in the middle,
Okay.
and potentially taking my tower.
This is a good question. Um, I'll go ahead and get to it. I think. Sorry, I kind of need some water. I just. Oh, I don't know why my
Oh,
throat's so
go
dry.
ahead.
But in to put it shortly, and we're gonna come back to it once we get to the RG. When you're playing against RG, it's about timing and it's about knowing where he is in his cycle in order to do his RG push. Um, in the situation that you are in two crown scenario, and let's say like your map is empty. You have pump in your hand. You have golem in your hand. You have e barbs or something. The best move there would be to put down a pump, understanding that he can play RG, and
His
then
rail giant.
yeah, then play to his counters first before you do
Yeah,
anything.
it's like baiting his rail giant basically with my pump.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna have
And
to.
I
Uh,
have the last one.
yep.
It's I've been finding some ways, but I wanted to know what was the best way to bypass Inferno Tower with my deck.
All right. This one's pretty good too. Yeah, I can tell you've definitely been playing a ton with your deck. So, your deck has very good ways to bypass Inferno Tower, but it really is about um, knowing where to be placing your graveyards and when to zap. That's the biggest part here. So,
Yeah.
I will go ahead and get started, but I will be right back. I do need to get something from my throat so that I'm not just sitting here coughing all the time. Just go ahead and
Okay.
uh, chill out for a second. All right, I'm back.
Yes.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Um, I'm just gonna be going over here. Let me go ahead and make your deck really fast, and we can talk about it. I think that's the
Okay.
easiest way. Also,
Should I be watching at my Skype right now? Yes.
yeah. Make sure to be watching your Skype until until like we do games ourselves. I think that's the best
Okay.
thing to do. Let's see, Mega Minion here, Barbs, Tap, Graveyard, Fireball, good. Help cards.
I've been generally struggling a little bit more on challenges that I have been on ladder play.
Yeah, in challenges, I can see decks taking advantage of your pump. I'm just your deck is an extremely late game deck, and there are some things that I can see like outside of your control. Because if you end up with a hand like Elixir Collector, Fireball, Graveyard, like maybe Zap, like these four cards, and someone just sends out a miner and a rocket toward you, you'd probably already lose right then and there. Um,
Yeah.
but on ladder, I feel like a lot of people mess up, and it becomes really easy to capitalize on their mistakes.
Yes.
If I were to make a Golem Gravayard deck for challenges, I would probably try and take out this pump here, and put something in that'll make your cycle just a little bit easier on you. And like then the way that your deck plays out, you're gonna be defending for a long time until you can get up your golem push in one times elixir, and
Hmm.
you'll be graveyarding them uh with that big push. Also in the early game, if they ever overextend, then you would just drop like you would drop E barbs at the back or something, and then just graveyard.
On graveyard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to do that on counterattacks. Like if someone plays a minor something,
yeah,
minor musketeer, I defend just with barbs and I counter push with graveyard, and I almost every time take their tower.
yeah. So it's just being like aware of what you can do. I just feel like in challenges though, your collective would probably put you behind. In ladder, I think it's totally fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see what else. All right. So when we're talking about like starting hands, the mindset that we should be in when playing this deck, as we talked about earlier, is just we want to be playing for the late game, where we want to at least be playing for the pump game. Uh,
Hmm.
Understanding that we have to minimize as much loss as possible, and you know that like our towers and our hands, our elixir is all it's all of our it's resources, right? If we give up tower health, then we should be getting something in return.
Yes.
When you think about this deck, if you have a pump up and you lost say 600 tower damage, is actually okay. If you don't have a pump up, you lost 600 damage, but
It's not okay.
well, it depends on where the game is. If you lost the 600 damage really early on for no reason, then that's really bad.
Hmm.
If you lost 600 damage and it's about like 1 minute and 10 seconds in the game, and you have no pump, that's like great defense so far. Because once you
Yes.
hit there, then you can just start doing your pushes. This deck becomes really overwhelming when you just get off like 1 to 2 pushes. That's actually like with Golden Graver, you could just get off one and be totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, let's just go into a training match. I think the best way to do this is just to reason it out with you, and see like what we can do here. So you
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
All right. So in a hand like this, well, I mean, we're probably just gonna pump here, right? Every time you have pump,
Yeah.
you just want to pump. Um,
Hmm.
do you know the pump positions? Like what a pump
Yes.
position
Yes.
tells you? Go ahead, tell me.
I don't know, like in the back, if it changes something. Probably the only one change I see between placing it. like a side of the king tower, and like on the wall is if the other person is playing like RG, he can lightning both pumps if I place them both like right in front of the king tower. But I don't see any other change. I know that if I place it in front of the king tower, the other person cannot rocket it, and if it miners it, it doesn't take that much because the both towers are aggroing the miner.
Uh, yeah, actually, this is not that good. Here, let me go back in. Go and make a new one. Right on most of it, but it's kind of more simpler than that. You don't have to think too hard here.
Yeah.
The pump position. So let's just do this. So you can place a pump here. You can place a pump here, 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 here. The differences is that when you place a pump back here, it's generally going to be um more safe because if someone attacks like this, they would probably want to say like damage like damn it. I want to be able to explain this so that it'll help. Actually, let's just go more basic. So yeah, putting it in the middle means that you cannot rocket it, right? You can't you can't rocket this in the tower. You put it at the back, you can get it rocketed. Let's get that out of the way right now.
Yes.
Doesn't matter where your position is. If they have something like fireball, there's something like poison, it'll get it'll get hit.
Yes.
The reason why this pump right here used to be really bad was because poison was really good in the game, and whenever people pushed, like giant push, they would poison like that, right? They would poison like that so they get the tower. But nowadays that isn't really the case. People have cards like fireball and lightning, so it doesn't really matter. What does matter is like graveyard. When people used to now people graveyard. Uh, Pumps in the front don't affect graveyard, right? Um, you're gonna be taking graveyards like no matter what. If you put a pump here and someone graveyards like this, your pump is fine. Your pump is safe. If you put a pump here and someone graveyards like this, your pump will probably take the brunt of it for you and will be
Yeah.
act as like a defense.
Yes.
Let's see. If you know the interactions between miner, if you put a pump here, then the two towers attack. You just said it.
Yes. 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 Yes.
If you put a pump over here, the miner can go here and go here. It's just about prediction. You have guards, so that helps you a lot.
I sorry, I'm not seeing like your cursor, your mouse
Oh, you're not
arrow.
seeing my cursor.
No,
That's weird.
I think it's. Can you like change it and make it like more big or something?
Oh, it's like really small because of the
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. I can.
Yeah. So I mean, the pump positionings are they usually do come down to preference. Like I usually like to put them in the back because I'm more comfortable with defending miners back here. Like I know that miners can come back here, right? You can just watch for the line that comes down. A lot of people are very comfortable with putting it in the front, but when you put it in the front, you can open yourself up to things that are kind of crazy, like uh, just like miners here, and then they lightning all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just about preference. So just keep in mind like which kind of pump does what. If you put a pump in the front, they can't rocket it. It eliminates several variables. If you put it in the back, they can rocket, they can fireball, they can send stuff right there. In this deck, I would say that you want your pumps as healthy as possible. I would try putting them in the front from now on.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
always put in the front.
Okay. All right. So let's keep doing just trading matches, just analyzing hands. Oh, this is perfect. RG, Zap, Fireball, Mega Minion.
Hmm.
What would you play down?
I would probably stagger a little bit with my Mega Minion, and if the other person like pushes automatically, I would use E-Barbs on defense.
Okay. I think that if you're playing this, oh my god, I keep doing this. If you're playing this deck and you have, like, if we remember, this was your opening hand, Fireball Zap, Mega Minion, E-Barbs. You just want to wait. With this deck, the only opening that you can have that's really good for you is just Elixir Collector.
Yeah.
Your cards don't stagger well. The only card that
Nope.
sort of staggers is Mega Minion. But even then, it loses to almost everything else.
Hmm.
Uh, in a hand like that, you have, I would say, three, four openings, and they kind of get progressively worse. So you can, let's see, okay. So Mega Minion, E-Barbs, Zap, Fireball. Like, let's take the when we take a look at this hand. I don't really think that there's anything that you want to start off first with, which probably means that you're going to one wait. You're just gonna have to wait. See if the opponent puts down anything. If they don't put down anything, your next move can be like your second probably like best move is play Mega Minion at the back, right?
Yeah.
And then defend with Fireball, Zap, Mega Minion, and then your next card was guards. Um, Assuming that they do play something, a Musketeer, you can Fireball. So like Fireball unit that seems like all right. You want to Fireball two archers, you want to Fireball Musketeer, you want to Fireball Mega Minion. Uh,
Yes.
you have to remember that like the way to play through this deck is to play through its cycle as defensively as possible. Get up your pumps and then do your push. This is a late game
Yes.
deck. You don't want to be aggressive with it unless you know that you're going to get damage. Is there anything else? And or like they drop, I don't know, like a RG at the bridge like in ladder, and then you can respond with E barbs. But as you can see, there's not very many opening plays. You the highlight of this deck is it's just patience. You have to be very patient when playing this deck.
Yeah.
I think playing through your opening hands are is really important. That's why I'm spending so much time on it right now, so that we can reason it through. All right, let's go. Let's do
And
this again. Uh huh.
yeah. I wanted to ask you, like,
It's
what
a
if
pump.
you have like the worst opening hand ever? That I think would be like maybe Fireball Zap, Golem Graveyard, or yeah, I think that's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah. Fireball, Zap, Golem Graveyard. The best possible move is to spend a Fireball on someone. Spend a
Hmm.
Fireball on something, which can I leave you open to like they just play a pump right after. You're gonna have to deal with that and just try to get to your pump. Second is probably just zapping a tower.
Yeah.
Uh, you might think it's really dumb, but it's okay to just zap a tower.
Hmm.
If you're both sitting there at 10 elixir, just zap it and then go on with your day.
Yeah.
If they don't do
Okay.
anything, that was a free 64 damage.
Yeah,
And
and two Elixir that they lost.
yeah, because they just want to see something. This is very non-committal. Zap is very
Hmm.
non-committal. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep going. So I have Zap, Fireball, E Barbs, Graveyard, and I see Pump next. So I do want to use a card, right?
Uh, Zap a tower.
I mean, you can Zap a tower. They're both just sitting there. I think Zap. So like, I mean, I'm just gonna ignore this. If we're both sitting at 10, yeah, I would Zap a tower like this and just wait a second. Does he drop anything? Imagine if he does drop like Hog Rider, you drop E Barbs, not like this, but you drop E Barbs here.
Yeah.
And then you counter them. You wait. Let's wait for 10 elixir. Drop this elixir collector at 10, and now you know that you have your elixir collector. You got through your bad early game, your really bad early game, and now he has to attack you. He'll probably send like a fireball to you, and then you get on with the rest of your day. Just keep cycling your cards, defend, etc., etc. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to try one more? or do you
Okay.
think you have the hang of it?
I think I'm okay, but as you want.
Yeah, just like in every game, if you're gonna play the second, you're gonna review your replays. You have to be able to logically back up why you did what you did. Almost every point with this deck because it's so important to get to the late game.
Hmm. Okay.
So go ahead. What'd you do here?
Uh, to be honest, like what I would have done before this is like place guards in the back if it doesn't do anything.
Like this?
But yeah, not splitting them, like all in the same side. Uh, but now I should like probably sap a tower, I guess.
I mean, you could just yeah. Like I think waiting is probably the biggest thing here. Again,
Yeah,
like the hand you can only do it. So you would wait, chill. They don't do anything. You can zap a tower. You can fireball whatever comes out. You can play
yeah,
guards if you wanted to. Uh, I would say you would only want to play guards though if you have E barb somewhere in your hand, or somewhere that's like it's coming soon. Imagine if you drop guards and
and they
then
drop a hog rider on the other side.
yeah, they drop a hog rider, they drop a prince or whatever at the bridge. Then you need insurance against that. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yes.
so you just like keep backing up, keep making logical statements with your moves, and then I'm sure that you'll be fine overall with your starting
Okay.
hands.
Nice.
I mean, to put this in respect perspective, like how hard, like why we have to keep saying like, um, be careful of your opening hands. If I were to give you a deck that's like this spellbait miner, right?
Oh, I cannot see it like completely. It froze. Ah, I can. Now I
Okay,
can.
you can see it.
Yeah,
So to give you a difference on how many opening moves this deck has compared to this golem one,
yeah.
here I'll show
It's a
you.
lot.
Yeah, it's like a ton. So in this opening hand, I can send out Goblin Barrel. I can send out Miner. I can send out Goblin Barrel Miner. Uh, I can wait and rocket. I can scar me at the back.
Yeah, yeah.
See, like
I see.
there's a lot of differences. So this deck is more proactive, and this one's definitely defensive. But this one overall has a higher combat ability. That's why we have to make certain adjustments to our play when we play such a heavy deck like this. This is 4.6,
Okay.
3.8. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're talking about Lava Hound.
Yes.
Lava Hound. Hmm. And looking at your deck, you have only Mega Minion, right?
Mm-hmm. What I've been doing like these days, when I play versus Lava Hound, is obviously trying to give me a second.
Yeah.
It's like waiting till they play his Lava Hound and obviously not wasting my Mega Minion in any other thing.
Uh huh.
Um, Pumping, and when he plays Lava Hound, I play Golem on the same side, so I can take all the support units. What is like the worst thing for me once they play me Lava Hound?
Yeah, yeah. Golem is like the one tank in the game where you want to send him into the lane against other tanks. That's how you win with Golem. You
Yeah,
don't split push with Golem. It's not like a giant where you can just if someone drops a Golem in the side, then you drop a giant in the other lane. That's not how you play Golem. You play
yeah,
Golem into the lane that has the most pressure on you. If your left tower was at 1000 HP, they drop a giant into it. The worst move that you can do is drop a golem in the back into the right lane. You drop the
hmm,
golem into the left lane into your weaker tower, so they have to push into your golem because it has so much more health and so much more threat if you clear up their tank, and it's a lot easier to clear up the tank because it's going to be a cheaper
it's
tank.
it's weaker. Yeah,
Yeah. If I think actually that so what regards your guards are for. Um, Have you ever thought about playing maybe like archers in this slot?
Oh, I played a lot of stuff on that slot. I played minions, ice golem. Archers, I think I did in one time, but I kept playing guards because of they can stop a hog rider with only 2 hits on tower at my level,
Mhm.
uh, and they do well after graveyard. But I think archers would be okay if you want me to try.
I think I want you to try with archers when it does come to things like Hog Rider, uh, Hog Rider Miner. You will have to be a little bit safer. Like you can't catch them anymore. You're just gonna have to use hold Mega Minions slash Elite Barbarians for it. But I think that if you do play archers, one like your Lava Hound matchup won't be nearly as bad. Two,
Yeah,
this card staggers really well. Like you can split them at the back and be totally fine.
the
Right.
problem is I've got level 10 archers, and a lot of people can arrow them. Should I use them
Uh,
anyway?
let's see. For your levels, I think it's actually fine.
Okay,
I would use the archers.
okay.
What level are
I'm
your
agreeing.
minions?
Minions 10.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Use the archers. The archers will be a little bit better on you. To help you stagger.
I've got a level 2 princess. I don't know.
No,
I don't see.
don't use
No,
princess here.
no, I don't see any synergy between Golem and Princess. That's why I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
use
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's exactly it. There's almost no synergy between them.
Okay, so I will use archers.
Yeah. So, when we think about the Lava Hound matchup for Golem, uh, like I think the number one thing like we talked about is push same side as Lava Hound. Uh, I think getting up your pumps is really important. Getting pumps up. Let's see. Defending against like the Lava Hound. So when the Lava Hounds come in and like assuming that you are pushing into the same lane, they will be using all their support units not to support the Lava Hound. They'll be killing off the Golem. At the same time, you
Yes.
should be killing off his Lava Hound. You'll find that you always get more value out of it every time you do that. Just drop like Mega Minion, just drop archers, get your defenses up, and you'll be fine. Is there anything else?
Um, and versus Lavaloon, what should I do?
Against Lava Loon, it'll be a little bit more difficult. It's when it comes to Lava Loon, in like let's say you don't know that it's Lava Loon. You use your Mega Minion on top of their Lava Hound. They put down the balloon. You're gonna have to like play your archers in weird spots. You have to play your archers up, and you're most likely gonna have to fireball it. You're most likely gonna have to fireball and zap your balloon. Their
Yeah.
balloon. Yeah. Just make sure to watch for the circle. Make sure to watch for the shadow underneath the balloon, so that you don't miss your spells like fireball.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really important. I've done that a few times, and it's one of the worst feelings ever.
Yes.
So yeah, when you're playing Lava Hound, when you're playing against Lava Hound, you can take a little bit more risk because to do their pushes to like let's say Lava Hound balloon, they need about 12 elixir to get set up. If you see someone just drop a Lava Hound at the beginning of the game at the back,
I play Evarbs on the other lane
yeah, yeah,
usually.
you could totally do that. You can just pump up. You have a lot more leeway, and when it just comes to actually defending, I think that the Golem always has the advantage if you push into the same lane because they can never back up their Golem, their Lava Hounds. If they don't like once you see them not be able to back up their Lava Hounds, you'll find that the matchup becomes intensely easier.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Then I think Graveyard is just Graveyard when possible, and you'll probably take the towers. You have uh you have a Graveyard counter right here in the Archers too. I would say guards aren't really a counter. If you didn't know, guards do lose to Graveyard 1-on-1.
Yeah, yeah, they usually die.
Yeah, it sucks. Uh, if you want to try out the matchup right now, do you want to play it?
Okay.
Okay. And then after we do this matchup, I will go ahead and we'll go on to talking about Golem after one pumping. This one
Okay.
I do want to talk about this because this is actually pretty important. Most people will just tell you no, don't even drop Golem if it's one pump. But the answer is that it's okay to drop Golem after one pump, depending on where your opponent is in his cycle. If you pumped and he drops his win condition, aka like a Hog Rider, you just cannon him. The Hog Rider disappears. It's okay to drop a Golem at that point. But when you think about it like that, what I see a lot of people do that loses them the game if they golem at one pump is that they don't think of that golem as a like you want to think of that golem as like an investment. That golem you don't want to go all in with it. You want to use that golem to hide the fact that you're gonna pump one more time into the late game. I mean, imagine it.
Okay.
So say you already have a pump up. You have an advantage. The golem, you play a golem, and then they're thinking, oh, I have to defend against the golem. You cycle pretty quickly, get to your next pump, drop the pump. Now they have a golem coming at them. You have a pump on your side, and now you're forcing them to split their elixir between do I defend against this golem or do I take out this pump? Most likely they'll have to defend the golem. They can't take out the pump, and then you just kill them out on the next push.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I see a lot of people do instead is they'll drop the golem. They'll say, "Oh, I'm in a position to win," but they don't realize that it's still 1 minute in the game, 1 minute 30 seconds in the game, and then they drop like Mega Minion. They drop like E barbs, and then their entire push gets stopped, and there goes their lead just like that. And
Yeah.
because they weren't thinking about the late game and weren't thinking about investing into another collector, now they have to restart. They have to like do it all over again.
Yeah. Pump and all that stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
So
So you told me about trying the matchup.
yes. Let's see.
Do you want me to show your clan?
I'll go ahead and create a clan.
Okay. I'm leaving mine.
Sharing. Invite only. The clan is coaching EsoPa, and I'll go ahead and make like a pretty standard Lava Hound Loon deck.
I sent request.
Lava. I don't know. What kind of Lava Hounds do you most have trouble dealing with?
Okay.
Just the balloon variant, or just all of them?
Yeah. What do I do the most?
Yeah.
Lose the most? Probably balloon, but all of them are complicated.
Okay, that's fine.
I think Lava Hound Miner will be pretty tough without guards.
Oh yeah, no, it would be. It'd come down to, your, let's say, just like how you set up your defenses.
Yeah.
Let's take Fireball as an example. This is like the last meta. Last meta Lava Hound. What am I missing? Scar me, I believe.
That deck.
Yeah. This old deck. So,
That one.
what I want for you to do while playing me is to tell me what you're thinking, okay? I want you
Okay.
to reason through your starting hand. I want you to uh watch what I'm doing. Tell me I need to close the clan. Tell me what you think where you think I'm at in my cycle. What do you think can happen? Etc. 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 Right? We're just gonna go through the replay
Yeah.
after this and then we'll talk about it.
I should tell you my starting hand. Yes.
You don't have to tell me you're starting it. Just like reason through it, like you would in a real game.
Okay. Let's see.
So you want to be getting to your pump, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not here.
That's fine. I think you're doing just fine. There it goes. So what are you thinking now?
I'm stupid because I spent my Mega Minion.
No, I think that's okay. Oh, but yep, you have to attack like that. It's a good attack. Good zap. I can't really do anything, but I have to take that damage. Um, your order, like you want to be cycling. I think you have your archers. Yeah. Good.
I tried them to look at the Mega Minion, but they didn't.
Yeah, it's difficult. So you did trade with me. You got a lot of tower damage on me. You have a pump up. You got through. Yep, that's perfect. That's exactly what you should have done. Pump up again. And then wherever I send this lava hound, you want to be placing your golem,
Yeah.
right? In this
Now
position,
I
go ahead.
yeah. Oh, uh,
Yeah.
I should do this. Oh crap.
And you could definitely work on your balloon, but it's hard to pull the balloons correctly. I understand that. If you really wanted to, you could take the tower damage here, play your archers a little bit late, um, and then just like fireball out all the defenses for your golem.
Yeah.
If you can, since you do have a pump up and it's kind of late in the game, you can also just drop your graveyard. Yeah, just like that. Okay. In here, like you really shouldn't be using your golem now because I have the pressure. You want to be going for the tower, just not with your golem graveyard because you can't afford it. Yeah, you want to be doing this. Get ready with the zap. Get ready with that. Need your elite barbs to get through. Perfect.
Ah, no.
You gotta be trying to
Okay.
defend over here too. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because you don't have a building to pull anything.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup actually. Like it's not a good matchup at all.
Yeah, it's hard. But, I mean, let's go ahead and watch the replay. It's not impossible, but it is difficult.
Yeah. And let's say that you are a really good player too. Like maybe on my level, I could have probably won that
Yeah.
after
Just like
a regular lava hunt user.
taking into account. But I mean, I'm trying to just play slowly and trying to just show you that like what can happen because I'm playing approximately.
Your screen is frozen right now.
My screen is frozen.
Yeah.
On Skype.
Like is the game paused?
Yeah, the game is paused.
Oh, so it's not frozen. My bad. Sorry.
I'm just doing this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is how we do replay analysis. So like after you lose games, I tell everybody this, but just go into your replays just like this and walk through the steps of it, like just by yourself. Look at yourself, watch through the game, and then watch your opponent. And just like ask yourself like, oh, what could he have done here? How come he didn't do this? If he did this, what would I do? If I got away with this pump, did he not punish me? You know, like ask yourself this stuff. So you actually have a position here like you drop archers. I wouldn't mind if you just fireballed here.
Yeah, I was trying to save the fireball. So if I had to,
For
for
what
I
though?
had to fireball Mega Minion or minions and the support stuff of the Lava Hound.
I know, but like, yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be taking this into account, that's fine. But
Yeah, but
you do have units to take them out anyways.
yes.
Your next card. What is your next card?
Pump.
Yeah, so you just want to be getting to your pump. What
Hmm.
card you had to burn? You had to burn through a Mega Minion here, and then the Mega.
Sorry.
You had to burn through your Mega Minion, so you didn't have
Yes.
any more anti-air when I went ahead and attacked. You had to cycle to like your archers again. Um, you could have just fireballed this or fireball like that, and then get your pump
Yeah.
up and just wait.
That would have been a better play, I think.
I mean, assuming that the let's say the next card is Golem, not Elixir Collector, then fireballing is probably not the right move.
No.
Playing a Mega Minion would have been fine there. It's like a case by case basis. But when you keep doing this, when you keep playing and building up your experience, and you just keep logically going through your moves like this, you're gonna find that when you go into any other game, you'll be able to play through your opening hands almost seamlessly.
Hmm.
So it's repetition and practice.
Yes.
This is good patience on you. You should pump here. Let's see. So now you see a lava hound coming. You know that. Let's see. After zap will probably be your archers again. So you need at least two in order to get back to your archers. Archers also cost three, so you need at least five. In your hand right now, this five is what you need to defend. Potentially. But the thing about the lava hound is it's slow, and it walks up pretty slow. So you buy a lot of time. By the time this lava hound walks up and is like a threat over here, your elixir should probably be around here. So overall, if you're taking a look at this, this amount of elixir, like around 8 9, is what you're going to be working with on the defense. So if you
Yep.
make the conscious decision of sending elite barbs, that's going to be 6 out of your 8 9 elixir. So you're going to have around 3 to defend this push. If you can make that decision on the spot, and you can rationalize playing elite barbs here plus zap, and you get the damage, then you have to be comfortable with knowing that you're gonna be at the most defending with only 3 2 elixir.
Yeah, I'm probably losing a tower.
It depends on how well you position your units, but yeah, it's good that you have the zap hover, zap now.
That was a
Now,
bad sap though.
oh, it's fine, it's fine. See what we talked about, how much elixir you have to have. Here, what you can do. This is sort of hard, but it's about timing. Like you can play Mega Minion here. Like the whole thing about defense here is that since you can't pull, you have to play around the deploy timers.
Yeah.
You know the
Yes.
deploy
Yes.
timer, right? If you drop, you know that if you drop Mega Minion right here, the Mega Minion will turn around, take out your Mega Minion. Um,
Yeah, and they won't cancel each other.
yeah, if you wait, this is like really precise, and I don't really expect you to know it, but you can do this. If the Mega Minion's here, you can drop Mega Minion all the way at the bridge and pull it, and then they'll cancel each other out.
Yeah, what I was trying to do is like wait till the Mega Minion went in front of the Lava Hound and
Yeah,
kill it with archers.
you mean with the Mega Minion that you
Like,
place right here, right there. You yeah. I mean, this is another move, but you just take a lot more damage, and then I fireball it. But that's still fine. I like your patience there. That's good. I mean, you have to remember that you do have a pump up. You did take a lot of damage off of me, and now you can pump again. And now you just be patient. Wait for my lava hound. Uh, if you really wanted, you could like fireball this tombstone here. Force my
yeah,
hand. I drop.
I wanted a fireball right there, but you told me like throw your golem, and I
You
did.
could have done both right there.
Yeah, because I had two pumps.
Yeah, I mean this tower is
Yes.
at 500. You don't have to. Like the whole point of this golem is to stop units coming in behind the lava hound. Oh, I think you missed this out there because you weren't watching the shadow. But this is really minute stuff. I think you overall have the game plan. If you want to do one more match,
Okay.
yep. Have the deck.
Yeah, it's quite easier with archers. Like with guards, you
Oh
He would
yeah.
have probably three crowned me.
Oh yeah, yeah. There would have been no chance. Oh, okay. Good opening. Forces me to go. If you play a pump in the middle, you have to remember that you can't play units near the pump. You have to
Yeah,
play. Yep.
yeah.
Perfect. You're not giving me fireball value right now.
Oh,
Oh, are your archers not in your hand? Oh, oh, yeah, that's okay.
oh, my internet just
Your internet died.
yeah. I'm
Okay.
trying. I'm actually trying to pump on the right.
Okay. Here I'll go ahead and just end it then.
Yeah, because my mega was like the next card. Then I
Yeah,
had Ebarb's Golem Gravayard.
this is fine. We can still just talk about the opening.
Yeah.
This is like the this is like one of the weaknesses of this deck because you don't have like ice golem. You don't have a building to pull to
Yeah,
lure. It's
I can't
hard.
kite.
Yeah, it makes it infinitely harder to kite. But because you have so many of these like crazy units, you need golem. Like this is your win condition here because this is what you decided. In order to play graveyard, you do need triple spell. So then like now a lot of your slots are filled, right? You want to play
Yeah,
pump, so that leaves you with 3 slots, 2 units to hit air, and then 1 unit to hit ground or to be the tank killer. There's no room here for a. I mean, you if you wanted to take out collector, you could put in, let's say, a furnace. A
dark.
no, you don't want to use furnace because it's ladder. You can put in Inferno. You can put in a Tesla. You can put in a cannon, and that make the matchups easier. But it makes playing the early game that much more difficult, even
Yeah,
because you don't have that really obvious pump play.
yeah. I really love pump in my deck because
Yeah,
it makes it so much easier in also in 2x Elixir. When I have one pump, I'm 2 towers alive. It's almost over.
yeah, yeah. It's just I that's why we're trying to find ways to play around it.
Yeah,
So let's. I want to go watch this replay really quick. You do have pump in the front, right?
yeah,
Totally fine. Pump. When you play a pump like this, instead of like, yeah, you're gonna have to play units here. Like you have to play within this pocket. This is your pocket to play in. If you
yeah.
play anywhere like this, I will
You
fireball
can
you.
get value.
Yeah,
Yeah,
10 out of 10 times. There are situations where I could force value, like if like I had a hog rider, I could play hog rider here and then fireball like this. You don't really have to think about that. Just remember to not play in this pocket. Like this elixir collector is like a giant red target on your back.
yeah. I never do.
Yep.
I'm pretty used to it because I always pump in the front.
Yep. So let's say when you have a hand like this, there are a few things that you can do here. You can be really cheeky and drop. I mean, what do you think that we can do here?
I think I could have dropped archers or Mega Minion in the spot you told me to do.
Uh huh.
I decided to drop Mega because archers. I think archers are better after the balloon versus the balloon because sometimes balloon like goes same speed like the Mega Minion and it goes out of range.
Yeah, like I mean, you'd have to play the Mega Minion. I mean, if the balloon is like, let's say here, you have to play Mega Minion like here in order for the Mega Minion to stay on course. But yeah,
Yeah,
you could have also dropped like a Mega Minion push here and then just graveyard it if you want to be really cheeky, and then hold off with Archer, Zap, and Fireball probably. Um,
yeah,
you could think of it just like the way you would do it with Elite Barbarians against the Lava Hound. Imagine if I were to defend it, right? I'd have to drop Mega Minion here and then zap this. This is still at the very least like 5, depending on how well I defend it. Some players can just mess up completely. You could take your tower and just defend. But I think the overall safer move is probably to drop your defenses here.
yeah,
Say, I think you need to get out your archers like a little bit earlier. And this is kind of where the whole like I need a tank in order to defend this kind of comes into play. If you had an ice golem, you could drop ice golem and then just keep hitting this lava hound with
yeah.
your archers. But because you don't have anything, this push becomes extremely scary. It's not like
Even guards probably they take like 6 hits of Mega Minion.
yeah. Mm. It's not like you can drop golem here. Well, I mean, I guess you could. Actually, you probably could have dropped golem right here, but it would depend on like your reaction speed.
Yeah,
It's like, I mean, technically you are putting the golem as the lava hound push, right? And it
yeah,
is a big tank for you, so you can clear it. They would have to fireball and zap this, but then you have archers. Oh yeah, I think that
yeah,
would actually have been the right move, huh?
yeah,
I mean, if we went through the other moves, like you can't use graveyard. There's nothing to graveyard. If you play archers, the archers is going to lock onto the lava hound at this moment. You can play them like right here, and then hopefully they lock into the Megamine, but that's kind of asking for a lot.
yeah,
Zap does nothing. Zap, like if you zap this, like what's gonna happen? Your Mega Minion lives for like another swing. In the
yeah,
grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything. So at this moment, if you had dropped Golem, I think it would have been okay. Not very many other plays I could have done, and then I would have had to cycle to Tombstone and then defend this Golem. And by the time I defend the Golem, you already have another pump up. You can just start again.
yeah. That's why my internet got messed up.
Yeah, yeah. It's very situational. You picked a really difficult deck because like I think your defense has to be really on point. Your defense and
Mm-hmm.
your ability to analyze situations, like play situation by situation, is really has to be on point. Okay, uh, let's go ahead and move on to starting Golem after one pump.
Okay.
All right, we touched on this earlier, and when you're in a position with Golem and Pump, say here, want to make my Crown Towers.
Yeah.
The time, let's say, is 1:30. Uh, you have your pump up. This is your pump. In your hand, you have Golem. Let's say you just defended a E-Barbs push, right?
Yeah.
No, I think for sake of clarity, let's do a Hog. This Hog is a lot easier to understand when it's the opponent's win condition. So let's say you got your pump up, they set in Hog Rider, you defended the Hog Rider. Now your hand looks kind of like Fireball. Let's say it's like Fireball, Zap, Golem, Graveyard. I would say it's actually okay to have to drop Golem at that point, because they just played their win condition. They can't really do anything else. If their deck is built correctly, they'll have Hog, and then they'll have to like cycle through a whole bunch of cards in order to get back to Hog. In some cases, they'll have like Hog E-Barbs, and then they'll drop E-Barbs when you drop Golem. You're gonna have to be careful about that. You have to keep that in mind when you do that. If you feel like they can't do anything to you, I think dropping Golem is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we talked about again, if the time is 1:30, you still want to get up another pump. Ideally, you're playing this golem to get up another pump. So this golem that's
Yeah.
walking this way is a diversion. It's a diversion. Whatever this golem gets out of the opponent is like profit for you, right?
Hmm.
This is an investment golem that's going to act as like this shield for you while you go ahead and pump up. Because like at most, imagine if they have the cannon over here, they have to play archers over here, they're dropping ice golem over here. That's like 3, 6, 8. That's already 8. That already makes up for your golem plus you pump. And you know the cycle.
Uh-huh.
Then you just have to defend one more time. By the time all of this go ahead gets through, you'll have a pump up. The time will be like 1 minute. It will be times 2 elixir, and you just drop a golem, drop graveyard, GG, just game over.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can see the opportunity to go ahead and capitalize on your 1 minute 30 golem, as in they mess up the defense, you drop Mega Minion over here. Sorry, that's a 3 for some reason. You drop Mega Minion, you take your tower. That's all good for you. That's great. But assuming that everything goes as planned, your 1 minute 30 golem shouldn't get to the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you can overextend here if you play golem and then you graveyard and then you defend everything. What happens is that if
They
you
kill me.
yeah, like they defend, there goes your advantage. You didn't invest into another pump. Then like we talked about, you have to reset and just go about it again.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially, what this packages into is how do we get a lead? We got a lead by defending Hog, and we now have a pump. How do we extend that lead? Uh, a lot of like lesser players will not just think about that. They'll think, I have a lead right now. I need to go. I need to make this into something right now. Right now, you don't have to do that. You got your lead. You want to extend your lead and keep your lead.
Hmm.
Right? Makes sense.
Yes.
All right, so that's what the starting golem after 1 pump means. Um,
So I shouldn't make a full golem push in the first minute if I don't have like a really big, I mean like 6, 7 elixir advantage.
you don't need elixir advantage per se. What the pumps give you is like they put your opponent on like a timer. Um, you can what the pumps give you is they put your opponent on a timer and it gives you freedom to go ahead and play your cards in the right order. Like if you have pumps and you have a golem, it's not the elixir lead. The elixir lead definitely helps, but if they don't have the right answers in their hand, you drop golem graveyard. That's like game. That's they can't ever defend their tower.
Yeah.
It gives you the freedom to choose what kind of cycle that you are on and put your opponent on. That's kind of what the pumps do. If you think about it as in, oh, I have a 6-7 elixir lead, but you can still mess up that attack by placing the wrong cards. If you use Golem, use Graveyard, and they have efficient responses to it, there goes your advantage right there. Your
Yeah.
like elixir lead doesn't mean anything if you can't put the actual damage onto the tower.
I understand.
Let's see. So RG and 1-1 crown scenarios. Let's see. So um, let's say this is your hand. We'll call you 1. This is 2. This is RG. You know, in a 1-1 crown scenario where it kind of looks like this, uh, like that, right?
Yeah.
Um, let's say you've been playing through the entire game and they just RG'd. They just RG'd you, and your tower is probably down to like here. Their tower is probably like here, and now you're in a really difficult position. So this is the RG player. You know that he just RG'd, which means that if you know like rotation, you know cycles, it takes
Four more cards.
yeah, it takes 4 cards, right? So if you're really paying attention, you'll know when the RG comes out next. If you know when the RG comes out next, you have like in your deck, you have E Barbs and you have Collector. That act as defenses against RG, right? Uh
Yeah.
and your goal is to be able to take off his tower down as much as possible without using these 2 cards. these two cards allow you to keep the game going. If you put Elixir Collector down, he drops RG. The RG locks onto Elixir Collector. You drop E bars. You kill it. Uh, the game kind of goes on a little bit more crazy. I know a lot of RGs run Scar Me. Uh, let's say they drop RG, they drop Scar Me. You know that you just drop E bar Zap or something. You have to be really cognizant of the cycle. Uh, the rest of your cards, I would say in this scenario, unless you feel really, really confident, like you're probably not going to win with Golem. Golem takes too long. You can drop a Golem like here. You can drop an aggressive Golem here and it goes straight for the tower. But I would only do this under the assumption that like he does not have RG in his hand, right? No RG in his hand. Um, he's not in a good cycle. That's what it comes down to. And
Yeah.
this is still like a high risk play because like what can you get with this golem? Well, the golem walks toward the tower. He's playing units all around to kill it. Are you ever really gonna have enough for graveyard? Also, by the time this golem dies, probably not.
No.
Yeah, you drop like what 10, 8. You have 2 left, which means that you need to get 3 elixir to hit 5 in that time where the golem walks to the tower. That's kind of unfeasible. So
Yeah, probably by that time the other guy can have the Royal Giant again.
exactly. So when you're doing this, you're gonna like the cards that you're gonna have are what Mega Minion, Graveyard, Fireball, Zap, Archers to win a game. Your best bet probably then would be to Mega Minion plus Graveyard or Archer Graveyard onto his tower while defending with E-Barbs. I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing is like on ladder, I like to play to not lose because it's a lot easier to draw there.
Yeah.
Um, if you clear the condition of defending against the RG first, then you can think about winning. But if you just like throw caution to the wind and you go ahead and just golem in the middle and he drops RG, you probably just lost right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all about like tracking this RG, tracking his cards. Like if he drops RG and you deflect it, he needs 4 more cards. If he plays 4 cards, just count it, then you know he can do it again. Then you have to be on the defensive again. It's weird. It's like you have to play for windows of time. You have to hit like
Yeah.
timings. RG. I mean, you are playing in a situation where RG has like an insane advantage. He's one of the best. He's probably like the best card to have in a 1-1 crown scenario. That's what you have to play against.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, depending on like how high, how low their tower is, I would probably play for a draw. But if you know that you can get away with dropping a Mega Minion, dropping Graveyard, dropping Fireball, and like you know that you're putting so much pressure on him that you can't play RG, then you can feasibly win.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just again situation.
Yeah,
Right.
you just realize I think that you are going to win when you're like you see when you are outcycling him and like getting damage and don't letting him get damage on your tower.
Yeah, yeah.
It's pretty visible.
The easy thing about RG is that it's really what's that? Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go
Okay.
ahead and beat that. Uh, the thing about RG is that they're really telegraphed. Their pushes are telegraphed, right? Um,
Yeah.
after you see one RG, you know exactly how the next RG push is gonna play out. If they play RG at the bridge, they'll probably drop a unit with it, like minions, like Mega Minion, like something along those lines. But you know that they can't use a spell with it. If they drop RG at the back behind the tower, then you know that they're slow rolling RG and they want to use a spell on their tower. What when you take those two situations, you just like think ahead in the future and you see what they can do. If they don't do it, fine. If they do it, then you react like this way, this way, this way. A lot about Clash Royale is like I don't know if you've seen it. It's kind of like damn it. So this is like the a game, right? There's a bunch of routes that can be taken. Oh my god, my cat. Uh,
It's okay.
yeah, she's really loud. So there's a bunch of routes that can be taken. Depending on how good you are, you'll take like the right route or you take the wrong route. but no matter what, like each route splinters off.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can think of Clash Royale like that, that's why it's really like people will draw a lot of analogies from this game to a game like chess. You are like when you understand card cycle, when you understand like all of the highest advanced concepts, the game becomes it doesn't really look like Clash Royale anymore. It looks like somebody just trading pieces with each other over and over and over again until one person makes that defining move. And RG, if you're thinking like no matter, it doesn't really matter about. I'm just using RG as an example here. If we were to put this into context, so like one thing that can happen is, oh yeah, let's say like slow roll RG, right? Or like bridge RG. Or like furnace, right? A lot of people run RG furnace. Now, like each of them has their own branch of what could happen. He slow rolls RG at the back. What does this mean for you? Well, you can attack. You can either attack on the other side, you can set up your defense, or you can play like an elixir collector or something. So those are like your branches of moves. Then you understand what he's going to do. He plays a slow RG. He's gonna drop another unit at the back, and then he's gonna lightning you or something. Uh, Now we talk about bridge RG. He drops RG. What can you do? Well, you can drop E barbs on top of it. Uh, if he drops a bridge RG, he'll probably drop another unit on it, and then you just keep going, right? You extend these like branches, and it's once you get really good at this, what this looks like, eventually it looks like you're looking into the future because you know everything that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And when you know what's going to happen, then you can play to it. When you don't know what's going to happen, that's like when it's really scary. When like you're asking yourself, "Oh, what can he do here?" Thankfully, if you follow the meta, if you follow what people are playing, then you'll know what's strong. Then you'll know like how to defend against stuff. If I see Furnace RG and they slow roll the RG at the back, oh like oh my god, like 10 out of 10 times they're going to lightning your tower. They're gonna lightning something. So then you have to play around lightning.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I mean I'm going into like the really nitty gritty to show you like what this looks like eventually for you. And the thing about this too is that if you really take all of this into account and you really try apply it to your play, you're going to shoot up in ladder pretty fast because you're gonna notice that a lot of your opponents, probably like after this coaching video, to be honest, you're gonna notice that a lot of your opponents don't capitalize on what can happen. They'll probably let you go. They'll probably let you slide with a lot of shit, and you just kill them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and since we're running short on time here, this best way to bypass Inferno, it's actually pretty easy. So, I wish I should just make like a template of the map, but
Yeah.
let's say like this is the opponent, right? This is OP. This is you or something. No, actually, that makes no sense. Everybody starts like this. This is you. This is your opponent. All right.
Okay.
You drop Golem. Golem's walking up. They drop Inferno in the middle, right? 10 out of 10 times they drop Inferno in the middle. What would you do to get past an Inferno?
If they drop it, let's suppose they drop it like not in range of archers in the bridge.
Yeah.
I will probably play E-barbs in the front of my golem if I have zap. I can probably zap his Inferno, but if I'm on ladder, it doesn't make a lot of sense as I have a level 4 golem and everyone has like level 8 or 9 Inferno, and zap
Don't worry
doesn't do
about
a
that.
lot.
You don't need to think about that. But when
Yeah.
Inferno is like really unique when it comes to Golem Gravayard. Actually, you don't need to E-barbs there. I would say E-barbs is probably the worst option. If they have Inferno, you want to be graveyarding. So let's say your golem is at the bridge, right? It's right before the Inferno like locks on. You want to be graveyarding like this. You want to be graveyarding so
Catching,
that the skeletons come
catching
out.
the Inferno.
Yeah, you want the skeletons to catch the Inferno. In this scenario, it isn't going to be the graveyard that wins you the game. Typically, it is the graveyard. It's going to be the golem reaching the tower that wins you the game. And and then you zap as situational. Like, does the Inferno, even though you have graveyard on the board, like, is it touching the golem? Then you zap it. The
Mhm.
reason why I don't like playing E barbs here, because like if you play E barbs, then you can't graveyard. If you play E barbs, it can also be distracted. Like this
Yeah.
Inferno, yeah, like it's just a body block. If they drop Ice Golem and they drop like I don't know 1 Mega Minion, your entire push is gone. That's it. But if you graveyard like this, it's not. There's no real like answer. It's just they they have to kill your golem by the time uh it gets to the Inferno Tower, and then you can just
Yeah.
back up and support your push. If anything, if you want to really play E-Barbs, so you can drop E-Barbs into the other lane and just split push with it. Because this is already causing so much havoc that your E-Barbs would probably be better here. Um, I'm sure that you know that playing E-Barbs behind a golem is really unwieldy. It's like kind of bad because the E-Barbs can get stuck behind the golem and it doesn't attack and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like to play E-Barbs into the other lanes or just use them as defense. Uh, yeah, like imagine how much havoc this push does. You have Golem right here. You drop Graveyard, then you drop Mega Minion. There's no real like he can drop one card here and then defend all of it. It's a series of response, and there's such a high margin for error for your opponent that you probably take the game anyways. You have answers. This is just pretty simple to set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like what it comes down to for your play is just knowing that you can do it and playing graveyard at the right time in the right place. If you graveyard like this, then the Inferno kills off your golem. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, it just comes down to like imagine if they play minions while you do something like this. Then you have to fireball, and it depends on how much elixir you have. But most likely, I think if you do something along this line, you leave yourself open for to get outplayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I should never play E-Barbs in the back of my golem.
I don't like to. I don't really
Yeah.
see a reason why unless you can overwhelm them. If they
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's how my game works usually. That's why.
Yeah. It's just it comes down to like are you really putting the pressure on uh like say your golem is half health walking to the tower and they are just dropping everything. Then dropping E-bars behind it is actually fine because they most likely won't have the elixir to properly counter it. But if you drop Golem and they're ready, and you drop E-barbs behind it, those E-barbs are practically useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you've been in situations where your E-barbs don't do anything for you, and that's a
Yeah,
waste of 6 elixir. They might as well have been played in the other lane, or you might as well just played anything else besides them.
yeah. A lot of times, I win by only pushing the other lane with E-Barbs when the golem push is about to end. Like they don't usually have a lot of elixir to defend my E-Barbs on the other lane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand that. It like depends on how the situation plays out.
Yeah,
If they over committed on defense, then yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. You can catch a lot of people off guard like that. Okay. Is there any other questions that you have? Anything else?
no, I don't think so.
Uh, okay. I know that you wanted to talk about this P.E.K.K.A deck really quick.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's like 1 hour 20 minutes. I won't steal you more time.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's just I mean the P.E.K.K.A pump fireball. Now that and I think that you have a really good idea of how to play this Golem Graveyard deck that you have. It plays out almost the same way here.
Yeah,
Yeah, you want to be very careful about how you play through the early game. I think you just really like these heavy decks. Uh,
yeah. I'm really big down player.
yeah, like when you get really good with this stuff, when you get really sorry, when you get extremely good, which I think you should build it soon, um, your defense is going to be so good. When you go ahead and transfer to another deck that is like faster or just even less elixir, you're gonna find that you're gonna be able to defend most things just in general.
Yeah.
In Clash Royale, I prefer having an ultimate defense over an ultimate offense. I think that being able to deflect the majority of things that are thrown at you is better than being able to attack really well. I mean, if you defend everything, then you take no damage. But if you can attack, like moderately, if you can attack just all right, you will get damage, right? You'll be able to eventually end games. But if your opponent can never touch you, or if they touch you and then you kill them for it, I think that goes longer. That goes for more in Clash Royale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a little question.
Yeah.
You told me on the very start that I shouldn't be playing pump on challenges. And what can I put instead of pump?
I mean, if you're gonna run the deck, I don't think
Probably as
pump is kind of
Golem. I was
scary.
thinking actually
Uh,
to kites and all that stuff.
actually, that's perfectly fine. That actually makes your deck perfectly fine. Uh, yeah, but you're gonna have no acceleration, and you're probably just gonna have to win off of one really good push at the right time if
Yeah.
you're gonna play this deck the way it is.
Mm-hmm. It's if I played like that, I shouldn't be playing Golem on the first 2 minutes at all.
Oh no, you can't. You're just going to lose if you ever do it.
Yeah.
Uh, because you have absolutely nothing to play for this golem. Like your whole push is like if anything, you're gonna be winning off of Ebarb's graveyard more than not. You're gonna be winning off of Ice Golem graveyard pushes than Golem graveyard pushes.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, but definitely try it out. If you have, I mean, if you have any more concerns, you could just message me on Skype, and I'll see it, and then I'll message you back.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there
Sounds nice.
anything else?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. No problem. Well, I'm just gonna probably end the recording here then. Let's see.
Nice.